Today we're talking about a simple brain injury support group, and what ASBISG.org is. I'm gonna play this video momentarily, and then we're gonna read a little, and then we're gonna go over questions and answers. So please enjoy. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am here to talk about a simple brain injury support group.org. It is an organization that I am a member of, and I sit on the board as well. And a very close friend of mine, my best friend, Michael Idell, actually runs it. He's been doing this stuff for over 10 years. He has all the knowledge, all the experience, and he is a brain injury survivor himself. He started this from the ground up, and it is now a nonprofit organization, and I'm very proud of him. It is basically a place for anyone who wants information on brain injury. It is a great place to understand what other people are going through, how to relate, how to build relationships and seek advice, as well as compare stories, deal with our caregivers who may misunderstand us at times, or even having caregivers on there and being a part of the organization themselves, getting information on maybe what they're not understanding about the person that they love and who is completely a total stranger to them now. Their personalities might have changed, or they have a short fuse. There are so many different things that are affected with brain injuries, memory, and you could have a mild injury and you can have a very severe injury. Obviously, the severe injuries you're going to see, you're going to notice that person has a brain injury. You're going to see it physically. You're going to hear it in their voice. You're going to have those cues. When you have a mild brain injury or a traumatic brain injury, and it's not classified as moderate or severe, it is a lot harder to see. People look at you and they just assume that you're normal. And really you're not. You're trying to fit in this world and fit in this mold that everybody wants you to fit in. And you no longer know how to cope with some of these things. So this group is wonderful at advising others on maybe what worked for them, and then you can try it out if you didn't think about that. It is just basically learning yourself, learning others, creating connections of other people who have been there, done that. And again, it's for anyone. It can be for a brain injury survivor, it can be for a caregiver, it can be for a loved one, a friend, an employer, anyone who's curious, anyone who wants to be there to help other people, to talk, to have a network. And so this organization is, again, like I said, nonprofit. You can go to the GoFundMe.com website and click on the NIBI /ASBISG.org, and you can donate there. Michael Idell is on Facebook. He has an ASBISG.org Facebook account for everyone who would like to join, can join there. You can be from anywhere. This is all done through the internet. This is done through Skype calls. He has a radio show that he puts on, and he gives out a lot of good information, and he's trying to spread the word and trying to get people to really take us seriously. And you know, a lot of doctors don't know even how to treat their patients or really what they're going through. So this is very, very important. I encourage everyone out there to donate what you can. A dollar is a dollar, and they add up. So I don't have a lot of money. I know you don't have a lot of money. Everyone's on a budget, but if you have a dollar, please donate. This is just such a wonderful organization, and it goes unnoticed so much. So if you're out there, you're interested, check us out. You don't have to donate right away. Just look us up, and we're there. So thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you guys for joining in and listening to that. A little brief introduction about who we are and what we do. What is ASBISG.org? We advocate for legal and medical rights for those involved with neurological impairments, caregivers, family members, and survivors. We provide a place for people to vent about their struggles. We have an open atmosphere for people to meet others in the community and communicate openly about what they are or who they are without negativity. We have a place where no one is judged. There's also communication services for families and caregivers to work along with the brain injured. We also educate the public about neurological impairments, who the people are, where to go, and how they happen. We also continue to build a community together of enlightenment, experience, and positivity in a fun loving, filled environment. Neurological impairments and brain injuries include, but not limited to, traumatic brain injuries, bipolar disorders, brain tumors, strokes, aneurysms, acquired brain injuries, MS, hydrocephalus, autism, PTSD, epilepsy, and many, many more. What we do is beyond what groups do here on Facebook, but we are proud and supportive of teamwork with the other groups and with the global cause for brain injury support services. Being involved on our calls, administration, communication with staff, by keeping the moral structure established by our organization's code of ethics and standards of excellence as a global resource center for anyone involved with brain injury and neurological impairments. I hope that's helpful to answer any questions anybody has about us. There is more that we have that we can write and talk about. This presentation I'm about to share, this is going to also give light and hopefully we'll get some more people involved as well. Let me see what I can do here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to read a little bit, so bear with me one moment. Let's see, slideshow. Here we go. Now I'm going to resume the share. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to read it out loud for those people that do call in. Bear with me with this. Okay. ASBISG.org, brain injury support. Who is a simple brain injury support group? Presented by me, Michael Idell. Let's see, page 2. Let's see. Oh, that one. We are an official nonprofit brain injury support organization, 501c3. There's our EIN number to show our legitimacy and who we are through the IRS. We can't play any games. We had to put a whole ton of documentation through to prove that. And now we are licensed in the state of New Jersey and nationwide in the U.S. So. Questions are, what is a simple brain injury support group? A common little question people goes, what's so simple about a brain injury? There's nothing simple about a brain injury. The name a simple brain injury support group is the group. It's very, very simple. What is this group all about? I just went over that in full detail. How is this group different from other groups? That's a big one because we do advocacy, we do educational services, we do tutoring services for young adults and people with disabilities, also children as well, autism. Here's another question. You're a nonprofit organization, and where does the fundraising go? The fundraising that we do helps people with disabilities. It helps print out documentation to support and help people learn. The conference calls like this and the weekly ones that we do on Tuesdays for just open conversation and Thursdays for caregiver support all cost money. These are all questions we've received about who we are and what we do. The radio show is based on answering these questions and, of course, getting ideas of what anyone thinks is needed. We're always open for suggestions. That's a big one because we can only grow by working together, not just by me talking and things like that. It's teamwork. We're all about teamwork and assisting others with this hidden disabilities, caregiver support and education about neurological impairments. How has acceptance been made? Well, it's been by survivors and it's been by the families. We work together. How are the coping mechanisms understood? The level of stress experienced by the family members of patients who have a brain injury, such as intervention, is appropriate even 10 or 15 years after. Not based on severity of the injury, but the nature of the injuries determines the level of stress. Families with little social support, financial, psychiatric, and/or medical problems are the most vulnerable. Coping with brain injury can be described in phases: personality changes, memory and judgment deficits, lack of impulse control, a poor concentration, or they're all common. Behavioral changes can be stressful for the families, the caregivers, who must learn to adapt, their communication techniques, establish relationships and expectations of what the impaired persons can or cannot do. The better family members can cope with the situation, the better the person can or cannot do. The better the family members can cope with the situation, the better the patient's recovery. They're all functional and non-functional coping mechanisms in the patient's recovery. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading too fast. They're all functional and non-functional coping mechanisms, and coping is influenced by such factors as gender, social, and professional support, and the possibility to have reciprocal communication or an effective relationship with the client. Let me check and make sure we're doing good on the communication here. Let me see again. Uh, I hope that we didn't lose the call. Let me just double check. All right, it says the meeting is still in progress. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah, I can hear you,
I
Michael.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can
Beautiful.
hear you.
Okay, awesome. Just wanted to double check.
Yep.
Okay, you could see my screen. I have to double check to make sure the connections are okay.
Yeah, I can see the screen. It looks good.
Okay. How has communication been established? Who talks and who listens? That's a big problem because either the caregivers aren't listening or the survivors aren't speaking up, and there's barriers between. Who understand the frustrations that come with the brain injury? Well, there's peers. Of course, there are doctors. They need to start understanding. And of course, the families. The families sometimes don't see what's going on with the people because the people look like they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are the steps taken to progress in a positive manner? Well, there's enlightenment. There's group counseling, which we offer through these conference calls and through Skype. And as always, is positive reinforcement. That's huge because you can't move forward if everybody's standing still or if there's a negative approach or outlook amongst us. Facts. There are no typical brain injuries. There are no timelines to follow. An individual's recovery from a brain injury will vary from everyone else. Neurological impairments, which is some of the things I went over before, are traumatic brain injuries, acquired brain injuries, strokes, encephalitis, hydrocephalus, MS, toxemia, brain tumors, anoxia, hypoxic, autism, shaken baby syndrome, and many, many more. Brain injury is a life-changing event that has an effect on an individual's life, their family's lives, their friends, and anyone close to them. The after effects of brain injury include cognitive impairments, psychosocial, meaning psychological, emotional, and social skills, the physical impairments, of course. And a big problem is the brain injury is a hidden disability. Somebody may look fine, somebody may speak fine, someone may not have any physical ailments, but they are disabled. The families matter more than anything. I try to stress this because it usually, generally, is the most important thing with support services and a positive outlook to move forward. So we like to say, be aware. It's common for family members to experience a number of feelings such as the result of the injury, including shock, the numbness, fear, anger, anxiety, depression, or guilt. Little positive thing we have written here says, no matter how things are, tomorrow's another chance to make things better. Always. Always. No matter what it is that happened in the past, you can only move forward starting from right now. As a result of the brain injury, roles and responsibilities often change with the family. Family members and others close to the person may feel stressed, burdened, even depressed by the major changes in activities, responsibilities, daily schedules, leisure, and support that are required to adjust to the consequences of that brain injury. I'm a survivor, but I'm a caregiver, and I have been through hell and back, making sure that we're still there for the people that we're caregiving for. For me personally, it's some members in our organization. I've become a caregiver for them. We at home, we have family members in my immediate family that are stroke survivors, and other TBI, other versions of TBIs that we care for on a regular basis. But we must stick together. Long-term dependency on family members is likely if there's a prolonged social, vocational, or cognitive disability. We need to stick together. We got to vent. We need to speak to each other. You need to find resources together. And that's why we do what we do here in the organization. Where do we go from here? This is the part of moving forward. Patience, number one. Little steps go a long way. Choose small battles, not the the long-term thing, because you'll never get forward. Pay attention to the accomplishments made along the way. Those little, verbal praise and things like that make a huge impression on the people that are survivors. Small goals achieved are a stepping stone to achieve long-term goals, which is along the lines of what I was just saying. Perseverance, always focus on moving forward. Do not live in the past. Remain positive. Look at what you do have, not what you don't have. Tomorrow will be a brighter day if you work at making it happen. Every struggle is building strength within you, and that goes for everybody, including the caregivers. That's why there's teamwork. When you need someone, ask for it. No one understands better than peers, whether it's a caregiver or survivors. We all grow through the ups and downs together, motivate each other, build a community of help for each other, and educate those who need to learn. Advocacy is a big thing that we have here in the organization, because we've had to talk to doctors that say, oh, it's all in your head. And that's been our biggest bout, or even family members saying, get over it. You're not who you are. You look fine. You sound fine. That's not the case. We help people who can't find support services or assistance by contacting resources, assistance programs, stand up to medical negligence, which is what along the lines of what I was getting at, medical representation, and social services in areas around the country. The help we give is for survivors of neurological impairments, the caregivers, family members, friends, families, and public education. We have weekly brain injury support conference calls for all and anyone involved with brain injuries and neurological impairments. So anyone can talk, anyone can ask questions, and anyone can share their stories. We also have caregiver conference calls available for caregivers to have conversations about their side of the struggle of being a caregiver and help mend the gap between those they care for and being an open ear to the struggles of other caregivers. That's it for our presentation there. Let me just pause this real quick. And let me see who else and what else we got going on here. We have other participants. Oh, hi, Deb. And
Hey, Michael.
hi, Mary. Thank you guys both for joining our call. I hope I'm not muted. No, it doesn't. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Just double checking again.
Good.
This is all being recorded, so I want to make sure that everything records properly. That's why I'm a little anal about the presentations that we got going on.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
It sounds good. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it sounds real good.
Okay. Mary, I see you speaking, but I can't hear you. You're muted. But
your microphone's muted.
yeah, I can take care of that if you'd like. Nod, Mary, if you'd like me to unmute your microphone. Okay, she didn't nod, so I'm going to leave it there.
Okay.
I'm capable of doing that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm capable of doing that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I want to see, there's one other thing that I wanted to share real quick, and I don't think I have one on me, but we're doing we're at a carnival tonight, building, because we finally established a resource center real estate for our organization, and it's big, and where it's like really super excited about that because we'll be able to do support locally here in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey,
That's great.
and we'll be having like staff members all like I would love to say 24/7, but it opens the door to what we're doing on a regular basis. So yeah, if there's any questions you guys would have, I would love you guys to share it right now, and I I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Can't think of anything right now.
Okay, that's no problem. Let me
You covered a lot of it, so.
yeah. I'm gonna look and see if we have anybody in the chat. No, okay, that's nobody messaged anybody, because we do have people that can call in by phone, and they don't have to be on video. So I'm gonna wait. I'll pause this right now, and if
I guess I've got a question, Michael. So do you sit down with family members that are caregivers that don't understand, like if they say things like it's not the brain damage that's making you act this way, but it is, if the person has brain damage, but the family members may say that. Do you like sit down and you help them to understand?
absolutely, we could do it either through Skype if people aren't familiar with Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
or we do it over the phone. We can do phone video conference, phone conferences or video conference using Zoom, or there's also Skype. More than happy to do that because there's a lot of problems with the communication barriers that go on.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that several times with families, especially parents with children, or when the parent is the one with the brain injury, and also, of course, vice versa, and other family members that don't, like if there's a bout going on, like an argument, or
Mm-hmm.
people just don't get it, and there's a lot of miscommunication going on, to put it nicely.
Right. Yep. Thank you.
So that would be great. Yeah, if anybody ever needs that kind of assistance,
Mm-hmm.
call us. The easiest way is through the internet. You could email us at contact@asbisg.org, the website, and of course our phone numbers. Locally here, the number that we have in PA is 570-599-6424. And I'm looking up our other number right now in Jersey because it's a fairly new number that we have. So give me one moment. I'm looking up our cards. As I said before, patience is a very big virtue. And here we are. It's a learned trait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't find it now. Yeah, I'm at the carnival right now, sitting in my car with this. So I jumped out of doing one thing so I can get on this call and make sure that we can all have this tonight. So I'm not sitting in front of my house or anything like that. It's a little tricky.
Yeah.
We're doing wonderful. Luckily, this getting a huge amount of feedback from people, which is beautiful.
At the fair you are?
Yeah, well, it's a carnival. There's rides and everything else. So
Oh, that's nice.
okay, here's our other number. 732-344-8608. That's our Jersey number, and that's also the direct contact for my wife, who's the clinical director for our organization. So There's a little boy who just ran by because he must have been in trouble for
Here, I'm screaming.
not acting properly. I feel bad for him.
So, Michael, can you say that number again, please?
Yeah, sure. Bear with me 1 second. Let me pull it back up.
Oops.
It's 732-344-8608.
Okay, thank you.
That's our number in Jersey. And the one here in Pennsylvania is 570-599-6424.
All right, thanks.
And our email address again is contact@ASBISG.org.
Question I have is, I know you have weekly meetings, and a dog throwing a fit. I have. There are weekly meetings, but I can never find how to connect or what time. Where is that information available?
On our website at ASBISG.org /calendars or calendar. It's singular. But I could also send them on Facebook to you as well. So if you go to the website and you click on calendar, you'll see the meetings and the link to go to it using this.
But don't you post that several times a day on? Do you post it on Facebook several times, or is it just one time?
I post them on Facebook every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, today was the first time I have ever seen one.
Oh. Well, did you see the link from another group? Because I posted it all over groups on Facebook.
I cannot see my regular screen right now, so I have no idea.
Okay, that's fine. But that's good. At least you wrote it down. That's the best thing to do.
Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure. Is there any other questions that you have about who we are, what we do, anything like that?
No.
Okay, beautiful.
I'm more interested in things that are close to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I see what
I
you're
appreciate all the big stuff you do, but they don't help me directly. They help me in the long run.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've been doing this 12 years now. So even locally, what we've done for people, like we've had members that were having a problem with their doctors saying that, oh, this is not brain injury related. This is, this is just, you have a headache or you have anything like that. And they get sent home. And we've gone to those doctors and we've advocated for them,
Oh, that's good.
for the survivors, asking them why was they neglected help or assistance when this is a common issue, especially knowing their past with neurological issues or a brain injury. So we've done a lot of that.
Yeah, because I took my brain PET scan to UVA, to a neurologist, and he told me that depression caused, it's unbelievable what he did to me because I needed his help. He said that I was depressed and depression caused my PET scan to be abnormal. It was totally the most insane thing I've ever done. It was devastating.
Yeah.
But then I found another neurologist. It's just, how do they get away with that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How does a doctor get away with saying something like that?
Right.
But anyways.
There's also been times where I've been a legal representative for people in a courtroom because of after the brain injury, they also had a major issue with anxiety. And when it was a simple, court case, but the person wanted to fight it and or explain their side of the situation, not necessarily fight it, because we're not lawyers. But I was a representative of the person who couldn't really speak for themselves because they got so flustered and they couldn't come up with the words, because it was a tense situation for them.
Do y'all help with suing doctors? And you said you don't do that?
I'm suing doctors? No, we're
Yeah.
not.
I
Not
didn't know if you had
religiously.
information with. Okay, so you don't.
No, but
Okay.
we can refer people to other like legal aid or something along those lines, like route them in the right direction. I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, that's not. That's not.
Did that help you, Mary? What you were talking about as far as you said, I don't need any help, but what you needed is here at home.
Yes. I happen to live in a state where the brain injury organization is not extremely active. The stroke organization is not active.
I've seen
So,
that. I've lived in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, and I've seen that in all three of the states.
Mhm.
That's a big reason why we do what we do.
Why is that? Because they're not educated.
No, what happens is either I don't want to badmouth anybody in their brain injury alliance of their state, that their organization, but sometimes things get lost in the shuffle, to put it nicely,
Yeah, I get it.
or they don't know where to go or who to talk to, and they don't have the right resources.
Uh-huh.
So,
here's an example of my state. The National Stroke Organization is in my state.
mhm. Wow,
There's nothing going on.
right.
Nothing. So,
Maybe you should start something. Just saying.
No, but Mary, what you could do is contact my wife and I, and if you needed some help or some assistance, or if they're neglecting you help,
Mm-hmm.
we could find out why and help advocate for you to make sure you get whatever resources you need in the right direction.
That's good.
yeah, the chances of them helping me with any resources are pretty slim. I need a driver.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, transportation is a big issue in a lot of states. That's true. I lived in Florida
I live
too.
in Denver. You would
Oh,
think
yeah,
transportation in a big city would not be an issue.
yeah, yeah.
Not so much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you all from a Simple Brain Injury Support Group, ASBISG.org, for being involved, being, a part of our organization. If anybody would like to become a member, you can always go to our website and join. It's open to the public. I'd love more and more people to get involved so we can really help one another. So I appreciate everything you guys have done. And the more we work together, the bigger we can grow. Take care and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.